this nectarine is going to be going just over here. This nectarine. Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to the channel. So today we have a project, of course, out here. I'm very excited about it though. So let me turn you around and show you what we're going to be doing. So this, let's back it up a wee bit here so you can get a better visual. It's a red gold nectarine. Now this tree happens to be a semi-dwarf varietal, so it is going to top out at about 15 foot if we allow it to get that big. We may not. We may go on ahead and try and keep it around 12 to 13 just to keep it a little bit more manageable, a little bit more pruned back, and easier for us to harvest off of. But this nectarine is going to be going just over here. So for the most part, our property here, other than our rows of Sharon trees out front, has little to no shade. We are complete sun from about 9:30 until sunset, technically. So it will be nice to have a little bit of a shade break right here, and it's not going to really, where we're going to have this nectarine tree, it's not really going to have a huge impact on the garden as far as lowering our light level. But technically full sun gardens are anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day of sunlight. So the amount of sun that we have, you could say it could be cut back just a touch. But even still, this is going to end up developing this section over here of the yard. It's going to add depth, it's going to add interest and shade, and most likely what we'll end up doing is over in here eventually developing a little bit of a seating area, because we started over there kind of in the middle, and we've gone that direction in our development, and now we're also coming out here towards the street side. So we want to make what is kind of ugly over here a little bit more beautiful, a little bit more developed, a space that we want to naturally gravitate to. So when you're creating garden spaces, you want your garden space, number one, not to be too far from your house, especially if it's a herb garden, vegetable garden, that type of thing. The reason for that is our natural human inclination is the path of least resistance. We want to go to the areas that are the easiest to get to, that are the easiest to access. So our goal is to develop a kind of course from our back porch that doesn't just draw us that way. We're obviously naturally being drawn into that area, but we also want to naturally start moving ourselves this way. So developing down here is part of that. And that is also part of the reason that we've been developing this street side here as well, is to just start drawing us down here, because the more that we're down here, the more that you maintain it, the easier it is to maintain. It just becomes a natural place that you gravitate to, if that makes any sense. And if you gravitate that direction, then you're going to be 10 times more likely to take care of it and to want to tend it. So that is the goal for today, is to get that bad boy in place and set for the winter months, because really fall is the best time to plant perennials. If you didn't know that, now's the time to be putting your perennials in. So go on ahead and grab those fruiting trees, grab those fruiting bushes, and get them in the ground, guys, because now is the time. All right, so I'm going to go on ahead. I'm going to put you on Hyperlapse. We're going to grab that tree and work on getting it positioned, because the other thing that we want to take into consideration, of course, is power lines. We don't want to put the tree anywhere close to where a power line could potentially come down on it, because we tend to get ice. We used to get a lot of snow, but we've been getting a lot more ice impact in the last few years. So number one, we don't want it in a position where the line could come down and damage the tree. that would be terrible. That would be absolutely terrible. And then 2, we also don't want it to be in a position where it is going to grow up to that power line and then the power company come through and chop suey it, because power companies will do that if it looks like it's, you know, in the way of the power line, and we don't want them messing with our stuff any more than absolutely necessary. Because when I say chop suey, I mean chop suey. They don't do a nice job. They're in, they're out, and they've cut apart your tree before you know it. So I'm going to put you on Hyperlapse, go grab that tree, and we're going to work on getting it into a hole. it's really not that hot out. But my body is working a little bit harder than it would otherwise right now. So I don't come on here and I don't talk about my health situation very, very often, but I do have second-degree heart block, and because of that I have a pacemaker. So right now, lemongrass. Right now we are down to like days before my unit goes out, and I'm starting to feel it pretty badly, I guess you could say. So right now basic tasks are a lot more challenging, you know, lack of blood circulation and all of that. But even though it took us a bit longer than I would have liked to have gotten that tree in, we did get the tree in, and that's the important thing. It'll live, it'll be fine. Right now we're just trying to get really small, well, they're not small, but they're important extra stuff done and dusted before that lemongrass isn't minding its manners, before my next surgical event. There we go. So that's part of what that tree was, and that tree is also a birthday present from my boss over at Plants Etc. So it was really, really sweet of her to gift that to me for my birthday. Yeah, so I really wanted to get it in the ground. I really want to make sure that it thrives and that it does well, and that we have apricots maybe next year, because supposedly we should be getting fruit on that on year 3, and based on information off of this plant, this should already be a 3-year-old plant. So that means by next year it should be about 4 years old. We should get at least some fruit. It may not be a whole lot of fruit, but even still it'll be our nectarines, and that is very, very exciting to me. So all of that being said, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to end this vlog here. Don't forget, we do have our quick start guide to small space gardening still available for you over on our Stand store. I'll drop the link down below, and don't forget to sign up for our newsletter as well. And if you would like a little bit more fall or autumn content, I'm going to go on ahead and link a video here so that you can see what we did last year in the fall garden, and maybe get a little bit more inspiration for some things that you can do around your urban homestead wherever you are. And as always, keep it simple, natural, and essential. We'll see you on the next video, guys. Bye.